This program will help you become familiar with using Excel to add formulas, format, and more. Excel is a program that allows you to create spreadsheets that can perform automatic calculations. From the Start menu of your computer, look for the Microsoft Excel program. If it is not visible, click on All Programs and find it. Click on Excel to open it, or you can click on the Excel icon on your desktop screen and then proceed from there. The ribbon contains tabs, groups, and commands. Tabs sit across the top of the ribbon, and each tab contains core tasks you do in the program. These are File, Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, View, and Help. And we will talk about more of these soon. Groups are sets of related commands displayed in each of the tabs. In the Home tab that is currently selected, the groups are Clipboard, Font, Alignment, Number, Styles, Cells, and Editing. Within each group are commands, highlighted in purple, which are a button, menu, or a box where you will enter information into Word. In the Home tab Font group, for example, there are several commands, including font type, font size, bold, italics, underlining, and more. The status bar at the bottom of the screen contains sheets, which shows the current sheet you are working in. You can add extra sheets to your workbook by clicking on the circle with the plus inside, and if you right-click on a sheet, you can rename it. Page view allows different ways of looking at your document on the screen. The easiest and most common way is the normal view, which is on the far left and outlined in gray. Zoom allows you to adjust the document from 10% of its normal size to 400%, so you can zoom in and out depending on what you're comfortable with. The Quick Access toolbar at the top left of the screen above the tabs contain frequently used commands that are independent of the tabs displayed on the ribbon. You can customize what shows up here by clicking on the small down arrow on the far right at the top and choosing what to display. Shown here, starting from the left, is the Save option. Then the next arrow allows you to undo something you've typed, and the arrow next to that allows you to redo. Backstage View in Excel is accessed from the File tab. It contains all of the commands related to managing and customizing the program. We'll discuss these more in a moment, but you can see that the options include New, so that would be opening a new document, saving the document, printing, and more. You can click the back arrow to return to your workbook. To open a saved Excel workbook that you've previously worked on and saved and now want to reopen, click on the File menu, then click Open. Click on Browse, and in the pop-up window, locate your document and click Open. It is important to save your workbook early on and continue to save it throughout editing it. Once you've added information, it's a good time to save your work so that you do not lose anything. When you save your work for the first time, you'll need to tell Excel where to save the file and what to name it so that you can easily find it next time. To do this, click on the File tab, click Save As, select the location where you wish to save your workbook in the pop-up window. In the file name box, type the name of your workbook. It's best to choose something that relates to the workbook that will help you find it easily. Click the Save button. Each Excel file is a workbook that can hold many worksheets. So these are at the bottom here that we talked about a moment ago, and you would add them down there, and you can click through them and add information to each sheet. The worksheet is a grid of columns designated by letters and rows designated by numbers. The letters and numbers of the columns and rows, which are called labels, are displayed in gray buttons across the top and left side of the worksheet. which the arrows are pointing to. The intersection of a column and a row is a cell. Each cell on the spreadsheet has a cell address, that is the column letter and the row number. So here we would have a cell called F11, highlighted in blue. Cells can contain text, numbers, or mathematical formulas. Formatting text allows you to change the size, color, and type of font you want, plus add highlights and effects. The following are the commands in the Home tab, Font group in the order they appear from the top left. Font allows you to change the font of the selected text, such as Times New Roman or Calibri, which is shown here. Font size allows you to change the size of the selected text. You can increase the font size. You can decrease the font size. The B allows you to bold your text. The I allows you to italicize it. The U allows you to underline it. Next to that allows you to choose where and how borders appear around a cell or a group of cells. You can also highlight the selected text and change the font color of the selected text. You can use your mouse to click on any cell in your worksheet. This will select the cell. From there, you can either format the cell or add data to the cell by typing on your keyboard or using any of the instructions in the tabs. You can also use your mouse to select and highlight a range of cells by clicking on a cell and then dragging your mouse over the rest of the cells you would like to select. When you finish selecting your cells, you can let go of the mouse button and it will look something like this picture, with the cells you have selected highlighted in gray. There are different ways to move and copy cells to be pasted elsewhere or just to be deleted. To cut the cell's content that will be moved to another cell, highlight the cell and do one of three things. Using the Home tab on the ribbon, click on the Cut icon, or right-click on the highlighted cell and select Cut from the menu that appears, or use the keystrokes on your keypad, CTRL and X. To copy the cell's content, highlight the cell and click on Copy on the Home tab, or right-click on the highlighted cell and select Copy from the menu that appears, or use the keystroke CTRL and C. You can also paste what you have copied into a different cell or group of cells. So highlight the cell or group of cells into which you want to paste the cut or copied material, and either click on the paste icon on the Home tab, right-click on the cell and select Paste from the menu that appears, or use the keystroke CTRL and V. When a cell is copied, it will be highlighted in green, like on the right-hand picture here. You can also move a cell or group of cells. Click on a cell or highlight a group of cells. Place your cursor along the green outline until it turns into a four-way arrow. So here we see that James Patterson and the numbers 45 and 30 are all highlighted and they are outlined in green. So you would move your mouse over that green outline box until you see the four-way arrow. Then you'll click and hold down your mouse and move the cell or cells where you want them to go. So drag it until you have it where you want it and then let go of your mouse. One thing to note is to move the cell or cells to an area that is blank. If you move the cells onto other cells in which there is already text, you will be asked if you want to replace that text with what you are moving. So if you do want to replace that text with the cells that you're moving, you can click yes, but if you do not want to, then click no and move the cells to a blank area. You can add worksheets, rows, and columns to your Excel workbook. First, highlight the cell, row, or column where you would like to make the insert. In the Home tab, click on the arrow below the Insert box. A drop-down menu will appear with the option to insert cells, insert rows, insert columns, or insert a sheet. You can also format the cells. Click on one cell or highlight multiple cells to be formatted. You can use the icons and shortcuts in the Home tab to change the font, as we discussed before, the alignment, or the way the data is displayed. There are several ways to resize rows and columns. You can resize a row by dragging the line below the label of the row you would like to resize. You can resize a column in a similar manner by dragging the line to the right of the label corresponding to the column you want to resize. So as you can see highlighted here, between the 1 and the 2, there is a line. If you would like to make the 1 column larger, you can click on that line between the 1 and the 2 and drag down or up to make it larger or smaller. You can also click on the line between the A and the B, for instance, and drag it to the right or left to make the column larger or shorter. Or you can select the column or row and then double click on that line in between it and the next label. This will make the column or row as wide or as deep as it currently needs to be to fit all content within it. For instance, if you click here where there is text that says cell A1, if you are typing in that cell, but you are typing a lot and it does not fit into the current cell, so it just goes longer than the cell currently is, you can double click on the line in between the A and the B, and it will automatically make it as long as the text that you have typed. You can also click on the Home ribbon and select Format. A drop-down menu will appear which allows you to change the row height or the column width. Or you can select Auto Fit Row Height or Auto Fit Column Width. This will make the column or row as wide or deep as it currently needs to be. The distinguishing feature of a spreadsheet program such as Excel is the ability to create mathematical formulas and execute functions. Formulas are entered in the worksheet cell and must begin with an equal sign. The formula then includes the addresses of the cells whose values will be manipulated with appropriate operands placed in between. As you can see, here we wanted to add cell A1 and cell A2, so you would click an equal sign, type cell A1, add a plus, type cell A2, and click Enter. After the formula is typed into the cell, the calculation executes immediately and the formula itself is visible in the formula bar. Click in another cell or press Enter on your keyboard to see the result of the calculation. So here is the formula bar at the top, which shows what formula you typed. The example below shows you the formula for calculating the sum of several textbooks. The formula multiplies the quantity and price of each textbook and then adds the subtotal for each book. To view the actual formula or function in the cell and its components, double-click on the cell or click once and press F2. Also, if you select the cell, you will see the formula or function for the cell in the formula bar at the top. So as you can see, there's a class size and a price for each textbook. In the top formula bar, you can see that we multiplied the price of each by the class size and added them all together to create the subtotal. Instead of manually typing a formula into the formula bar every time, you can also use the formula ribbon to insert common functions such as sum, date, average, count, max. To use functions, click on the cell where the function will be placed and select Insert Function from the formula ribbon. From the Insert Function dialog box, you can enter a description of what you want to do, or you can select a category. Browse through the functions by clicking in the Select a Function menu choices. As each function name is highlighted, a description and example of use is provided below the box. Click OK to select a function. The next window that appears allows you to choose the cells that will be included in the function. Excel will suggest a range that it thinks might be relevant to where your cursor is. If you would like Excel to use a different range, you can place your cursor in the field and edit the default range. Just remember to include the colon. Click OK when the cells for the function have been selected. The AutoSum button contains a short list of automatic functions you can access. Click the triangle underneath the words AutoSum in the Formulas tab. This works the same way the Insert Function button works in that you activate the cell in which you would like to insert the sum of contents from the column above or the row to the left of the activated cell. Excel will suggest a range of cells that it thinks might be relevant to where your cursor is, as with the insert function you can edit the range. So here on the bottom right picture, you can see we have selected cells A1 through A4 to add together. And that appears in the formula bar. The Autofill feature allows you to quickly fill cells with repetitive or sequential data such as chronological dates or numbers and repeated text. Type the beginning number or date of an incrementing series or the text that will be repeated into a cell, such as 1, 2, and 3, or any word. Select the cells in the series, then select the handle at the bottom right corner of the last cell with your left mouse button and drag it down as many cells as you want to fill. So in the box that surrounds a cell, when you click on it, you will see in the bottom right corner that little square, so you'll click on that and then drag it down. So we started with 9/1/2021, clicked the square on the box that surrounded it and dragged down, and we got chronological dates. Then release your mouse button when you're done. If you want to autofill a column with cells displaying the same number or date, you must enter identical data to two adjacent cells in a column and highlight the two cells to drag the handle of the selection with your mouse. Charts allow you to present data entered into the worksheet in a visual format using a variety of graph types. Chart options are located in the Insert tab. Some available chart types are pie charts, bar graphs, scatter plots, and more. To create a chart or graph, you will first select the data and headings in the worksheet that you want represented in the chart. So here you can see a list of authors along with how many books a library may own by them. Then click on the Insert tab and select the type of chart you want. Click OK. Once the chart has been created, a Chart Tools tab will be available on the ribbon up here. You can refine the new chart as needed using the command buttons on the Design and Format tabs under that Chart Tools tab on the ribbon. You can also click on information on your chart and edit it, such as clicking on the chart title to be able to change it. Notice the information used in the chart is highlighted in the Excel sheet, so you can see that all the information you wanted is there in the chart. The data ribbon can be used to sort cells in a spreadsheet. To sort by one column, highlight the cells that will be sorted and click on the Sort Ascending A to Z button or Sort Descending Z to A button. Note that if you do not include the adjacent cells, in this case the author names, you will get a warning asking if you wish to expand the selection. So you can see here it says Sort Warning. Microsoft Excel found data next to your selection. Since you have not selected this data, it will not be sorted. So you can choose to expand to include the author names or continue just with the current selection. In this case, you would want to expand because if it just rearranged the numbers, then those numbers would be associated with the wrong authors. If you choose the option to expand the section, which is what you wanted to do here, Excel will also sort the data beside what you have originally selected. So you can see that the numbers may have switched around, but the corresponding authors went with them. The right picture shows a Z to A sort for the number, so highest number to lowest. To sort by multiple columns, highlight the cells, rows, or columns that will be sorted. Select the Sort button from the Data ribbon. From the Sort dialog box, select the first column for sorting from the Sort By drop-down menu and choose what to sort and end the order. Then click Add Level and select the next column to sort by. If the cells you highlighted include the text headings in the first row, such as here, which says Author Copies and Libraries, click the checkbox for My Data has headers and the first row will remain at the top of the worksheet. The use of styles in Excel allows you to quickly format your worksheet, provide consistency, and create a professional look. Excel provides several preset styles which include predefined headings, colors, fonts, font sizes, and border styles. To apply a style, highlight the cells to which the predefined style should be applied. In the Home tab, under the Styles group, click the small down arrow to view more cell style options, which you can see here. You can click on any of the options to apply a pre-formatted style to your selected cells, and you can click on many different ones to see how each one looks. So here I have chosen Accent 6, and it has created a style to the headings. If you have a large worksheet with column and row headings, there is a solution to freezing panes. Freezing panes keeps the headings visible while you are scrolling through the worksheet, so you can always see the top rows even though you're scrolling through all the rest of the information. So you can always know what information corresponds to what heading. To freeze panes, move the cell pointer to the cell below the row that you want to remain visible as you scroll vertically, and to the right of the column you want to remain visible as you scroll horizontally. Click the View tab and click on the Freeze Panes button. From here you can select whether to freeze panes, freeze top row, or freeze first column. Excel inserts dark lines to indicate the frozen rows and columns. The frozen rows and columns remain visible as you scroll throughout the worksheet. So under Author Barcode Format and Price, you can see a darker line to indicate it's a frozen row. To remove the frozen panes, click on the Freeze Panes button again and select the Unfreeze Panes option from the drop-down list. You can use the Excel Help menu to get assistance on any topic. In the Help tab at the top, click the Help icon. The Excel Help window will open. Type in your search term or click on one of the help topics listed. To close your sheet and the Excel application, move your mouse to the upper right side of the window and click the X button to close the Microsoft Excel program. If you have not saved your work, you will be asked if you want to save. If you have any questions about this presentation or other questions about Excel, please call or email the library to set up a one-on-one virtual tech help appointment with a librarian.